Well, hello. How is everyone doing? And my light here is really, really bright. Let me turn it down a little bit. So I am going to wait this time to see if someone comes on. Because last time I didn't. Oh, we do. Hey, Don. Thanks for coming on. Last time I didn't wait for people to come on. And as I started, it. I was talking to myself. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you guys doing? One of the questions that I've been fielding from a lot of my clients is, how are we all getting through the challenges that we're facing right now? Hey, Ann, good to have you here. We got the East Coast and Colorado represented here. So, how are you guys doing? I would really like to know, and the things that I could bring to the table that could be a benefit for you as we go along. And today's topic actually came from one of my clients and asked if I would talk about this because she is getting asked to do this quite a bit now. And so the topic is it wrong to barter? So let's go back and really discern or, describe, have a definition for what barter is. And quite simply, it is an exchange for a product or service for another product or service. And that can take so many forms. It wasn't all that long ago that you would be in a community, and if you were a blacksmith, you would trade your services to the general store for things they needed for you to be able to buy groceries. And that went on throughout the community. There wasn't a lot of, quote, cash in the community. And the general treasury wasn't there. When we were, the fur traders would trade beads for furs. They would seashells for different indigenous peoples. They would have shiny rocks. They would have all kinds of things that they would see as valuable, and they would exchange for other things that they wanted. And so, really, that's been the economy for a very long period of time. The eastern trade routes in India and all of the silk and things that, all of this was about barter. So, having that it's just an exchange for value, including money. Money is an exchange. It's a form of something that we can then use to barter that amount of units or dollars for something that we deem that we want and need. So the main thing about barter is in today's economy is about mindset. How do we use it? How do we use it legitimately beneficial for everyone concerned? And I want to go through a couple of the drawbacks and then the benefits, and I'm going to give you some ideas on how to really do this. Hey, Karen, thanks for being with us. So some of the drawbacks is it's about value. People will say, well, I have something and I just want to have an exchange for your something. So how do we have a true value, not an elevated value? And sometimes, hey, Jessica, it's actually a devaluing too. Sometimes we don't put the high enough real value on what we have. And so we have an exchange that we want to have it be equal. And so then the benefits is that it can stimulate growth. It can actually help you in your business. It's something that is, there's in my world, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, where we can get in trouble with it is when it's out of balance. Because in our world, we still don't know how to go to King Soopers and take something we bartered for to exchange it for food. So we have to make sure, what is the percentage? What is the amount that we can legitimately barter in our business in order to keep everything else, our mortgage, our rents, our whatever it is that we do have to use cash for, because we can get out of balance there very, very quickly. And so the stimulus to the economy, though, can continue in a very neat way. Now, something that most people don't think about, barter is technically taxable. So, I don't know anyone that is claiming barter on their income tax. But just be aware, if you start driving a very fancy car and you don't have the quote income to substantiate it, you might be throwing up a red flag. So I just wanted to put that out there, that it is something that the IRS says is a taxable event, but I'm not saying what to do with that. I'm just giving you what their rules are. So, hey Peter, thanks for jumping on. So, what are the action steps? I think the thing is, again, determine your value. What is it that you have that would be valuable to those around you that you could have a true value? Let's say that it's a home study course, or even if it's a service, you're trading a coaching or a lawn service or something for something that you're wanting, but have that true value of what that is that you're wanting to exchange. And then do something called equity of trade. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I have a product that's worth $100 and somebody wants to trade, and they want to trade me for something that in their product it's worth $50. So there's an inequity. There is a, hey Gary, I was great to be on to see your Facebook the other day. It's so timely as well. But you have this $50 spread. So you have to figure out the inequality. Are you going to have that other person pay you $50 in cash plus the barter, which is totally okay? Way back in the day, when I started out in my financial planning firm, there was something called a gold exchanger. It's a certification that I received. And we would exchange real estate for boats, cars, airplanes, gems, gold, silver. And all of those things were called boot. But the thing that we had to look at, hey Dorn, hey Dorn, I don't have my glasses, and they say not to wear contacts right now, so I'm walking around a little bit blind. But we had in that boot or in that exchange, we had to make sure that the value, the inequality matched so that we could have a true exchange and have it qualify. And so the other thing is using boot as not as a mindset. This is not the first go-to thing that I look at, because I want to honor those that are around me with cash. Because I know that in most economies, in most modern economies that we have, cash is considered king. You have a lot more options when you're dealing with cash. Use the idea of barter is to bring together a transaction that is something that's beneficial for you and the other person. So it's one of what I call the tools. So there's nothing wrong with using those tools, but I wouldn't have that as that go-to person or go-to tool. Hey Stan, it's always nice to have your brother come on. How you doing? And using it as a tool, we can actually stimulate our business, not only in this time when we're really dealing with challenges in the economy, but it also something that we can utilize later on. So, one of the things for those of you that are speakers and authors, it's really what I have done and teach around, where we give books to the meeting planners as part of the compensation or a give back in order for them to hire us as a keynote, a breakout speaker, or a trainer. And so again, that is a type of barter that we're using in order to elevate and separate ourselves from other people that are looking to have that same engagement. So guys, I hope this is a little bit helpful. Don't look at barter as being evil, but don't overdo barter, because if you get too heavily weighted in the barter element, you could find yourself in a cash crunch to where you don't have what is needed in order to sustain your business, your family, and to really create the sustainable life that you want. So I hope that helps. And like I have said in other weeks, if you have a topic that you would like me to address and bring, like this one that I had from one of my clients, is just drop me a note, Gary at GaryBarnesInternational.com, and be happy to include it. So, hey Gary, hey, right back to you. So we have Texas, we have Missouri, we have the East Coast. So, we've got North Carolina. But Ben, I think you're in North Carolina or South Carolina, aren't you? So we're about ready to wrap up, but it will be back on. I will post this, and would love to hear from you guys, since we only have the virtual side of it. Here's a virtual hug to each of you. I appreciate you, and let's continue the conversation and the connection. So, Richard, thanks for coming on. And so, with that, stay warm, stay healthy, and I'll see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time for the next Facebook Live. Bye-bye.